Good morning, friends. Welcome back to the class. I hope you all are safe at your home. You're healthy also. So now in the session 5, we are going to understand the concept invertible matrices, which is very important board point of view, because the questions which are asking from this concept is almost of 4 marks or 6 mark type questions only. Now just try to understand what is invertible matrix. Definition will go with, and thereafter will derive two important theorems. You may also state it as important results. Thereafter we'll discuss elementary row transformation method to find the inverse of the matrix. So in this session we'll go like this. So let's start with the definition of invertible matrix. What is invertible matrix? If a matrix A, which is a square matrix, I am writing AN means n by n matrix, which is a square matrix, and there exists another matrix B of same order, such that AB is equal to BA is equal to I. If the product of AB and BA both are giving exist and both are giving equal to I, then B is called inverse of A is called inverse of B. Hence, B can be written as A inverse. So B is called inverse of A, written as A power minus 1. By writing minus 1, we are saying it is inverse of matrix A. Fine. So therefore, I can write the same statement, because B is an inverse of A, hence B can be replaced with A inverse. Therefore, A into A inverse is equal to A inverse into A is equal to I. Are you getting? By definition, I repeat, if there exist two square matrices of same order, remember these two are the square matrices, because invertible matrices only possible in square matrix. Other than the square matrix, it won't exist. Reason is the product is not always defined. Hence, A and B must be a square matrix of same order. Then, if they satisfy the condition AB is equal to BA is equal to I, then B is called inverse of A. Hence, B can written as inverse of A, that is A inverse. Hence, B can be replaced with A inverse in this statement. Therefore, A into A inverse is equal to A inverse into A is equal to I. So, remember this statement. Now, this is what invertible matrix. After this, we are going to derive two important results which we called as important theorems of this chapter. This theorem here says that regarding the invertible matrices, if inverses exist, it's always unique. What does it mean? Every square matrix, if a square matrix have its inverse, it is unique in nature, which we called as, in short, uniqueness of inverse. What do you mean by uniqueness of inverse here? We are talking about if inverse of the square matrix exists, it's always unique. It means a square matrix can have one and only one inverse, just like in a function. Every function means if it is a bijective function, that bijective function is invertible and its inverse is unique. In the same manner, here a square matrix, if its inverses exist, it's a unique in nature. It means it has only one and only one, what we called as invertible matrix, one and only one inverse. Now, to prove this statement, I am taking contradiction method. You know, we are using this contradiction method many a times. Contradiction method. What is this contradiction method speaks? we assume something which is against the given statement when we prove that our assumption is wrong. In the same manner, I am assuming that let there are two inverses of a square matrix A of order n, right? That is, there are Bn and Cn. The given matrix is An. We assumed that there exist two different inverses of the given square matrix. Now let's see. If B is an inverse of A, so it implies that product of AB is equal to product of BA is equal to I, as definition speaks. If B is an inverse of A, then AB is equal to BA is equal to I. In the same manner, if we assume that C is also inverse of A, it implies that AC is equal to CA is equal to I, the second result. Are you getting me? So we assumed that there are two inverses, hence AB is equal to BA is equal to I, AC is equal to CA is equal to I. Now I am taking the fundamental concept of the matrices, which is, let us say I am starting with B, and we know that B can written as I into B, right? If you multiply a square matrix with an identity matrix of same order, the matrix itself, right? So ultimately B into I or I into B is always give a B only, so B matrix can be written as I into B. Now from the second equation, this I can be replaced with CA or AC. So I am replacing this I with CA. So I can written as CA into B, which is taken from second result. So ultimately it is a product of three matrices is associative in nature. So I can write this product as C into AB also. And as the first equation speaks, AB into BA is equal to what? AB is equal to BA is equal to I. So I can replace this AB with I. So ultimately it gives C into I. This is taken from result number 1. So C into I will give C only. So finally the answer is C. So we started with B. By doing a proper steps and methodology, we approached C. So B is equal to C. Though you are assuming that there are two distinct square matrix are the inverses of given matrix, but here we got that B is equal to C. It means that which contradicts our statement. We assume that there are two different matrices, square matrices are the inverse of the given square matrix, but here we got it as B is equal to C. It shows that the given square matrix, if it is exists, it has only one inverse. Okay, so this is a statement, you can say, this is a theorem, you can say, which has been asked many times in board. So please do practice on these theorems. What is the first theorem or result here? We can say uniqueness of inverse. It means if it is exist, every square matrix possess one and only one inverse. How you can prove that? By assuming there are two different matrices. Square matrices are the inverses of given square matrix. Hence AB will be equal to BA is equal to I, AC is equal to CA is equal to I, as per our assumption. Then I took B and I have written it as IB. Then I have just replaced this I with CA. By using the associative property, I was able to write CA into AB. Then AB, product of AB is equal to I, as the first equation speaks. Then C into I is always C. So B is equal to C. They are not distinct, they are same, are identical. It means that a square matrix possesses one and only one inverse if it is exist. Fine. So first theorem is done. Now move to the second important theorem. Now, just I am writing the a standard result. If inverse is exists, then A into A inverse is equal to A inverse into A is equal to I. So this is an important result which we have discussed from the definition, and inverse is unique in nature. Now the second theorem says what? Right? If A and B of the order same of this square matrices, A and B are invertible, if they are invertible, right, then you can say that AB whole inverse is equal to B inverse into A inverse. Remember what I am saying here? If A and B individually they are invertible, means their inverse is exist, then we can say A into B whole inverse is equal to B inverse into A inverse, which we also stated as reversal law. Reversal law of inverse. This has been also applied in transpose case. Now the same concept you can also observe in inverse case. Fine. Now here in this, A and B are what? A square matrices where their inverse is exist individually. Then this theorem will be applicable. AB whole inverse is equal to B inverse into A inverse. Now we are going to prove this theorem now. So here I am using a definition of invertible matrix. If A is a square matrix whose inverses exist, then I can simply say a matrix, product of the matrix and its inverse, always given identity matrix. So hence AB is a type of a square matrix only. So hence I can start the statement like matrix and its product with its inverse. AB into AB whole inverse is must be equal to I. Correct? So I started with the definition. By definition. Thereafter, I am multiplying the entire equation with A inverse on the left hand side. Remember, while multiplying the matrix with either side, left or right, you have to decide. Okay, so I am multiplying the entire equation, that is pre-multiplier you can say. So I am multiplying with A inverse. So A inverse into AB whole inverse is equal to A inverse into I. And you know that here this matrix multiplication is associative. So I can also write this statement as A inverse into A into B into AB whole inverse is equal to A inverse into I is always equal to I. Reason is, if you multiply a square matrix with identity matrix of same order, the matrix itself comes. So A inverse into I is equal to A inverse only. This is the reason. Okay. Thereafter, now A into A inverse is reduced to I. Remember, A into A inverse is equal to I. So I into B into AB whole inverse, right, is equal to I. Now you can say I into B is equal to B, because its multiplication says I into B is always B. So B into AB whole inverse is equal to I. Now I am multiplying again both the sides by B inverse. So if I do that, B inverse into B into AB whole inverse is equal to B inverse into I. Again pre-multiplier means left hand side. So if I do that, B into B inverse reduced to I. Matrix is multiplied, its inverse produces I. I into AB whole inverse is equal to B inverse into I. So I into AB whole inverse is simply AB whole inverse. There is no change. Sorry, mistake हो गया वहाँ से. One mistake I have committed here. Instead of, see, I have written the reason correctly, but While writing, I took I. So it would be what? A inverse, A inverse, A inverse. It should be what? A inverse, A inverse. Okay. So now you can say here A inverse into I is equal to A inverse only. That's why A inverse will carry on, and we are multiplying both the side by B inverse here in this step. Hence ultimately you are able to get B inverse into A inverse. So this is a theorem derivation. I hope you understood what is this theorem speaks. What is that? If A and B are two square matrices which are invertible, then only this theorem will work. It's conditional theorem, you can say. So AB whole inverse is equal to B inverse into A inverse. So we started with that definition of the inverse. If a matrix multiplied by its inverse always give I, and then we started with the multiply both the side by A inverse. See, we started with the A inverse हमने multiply किया, and then A into A inverse is becomes I into B becomes B, and then we started with again the same process by multiplying by B inverse. Now if you observe this theorem, we can generalize this theorem for n number of matrices. If there exist three square matrix A, B, C, square matrix of order n of same order, then you can say A, B, C whole inverse is equal to C inverse into B inverse into A inverse. Reversal law of the inverse matrix, reversal law of inverse. Okay, so you may apply for n number of square matrices of order n which are invertible. Condition is which are invertible individually. So these are the theory, you can say here. So we started with the definition. We also derived the two theorems here. Now we are moving to the elementary transformation method, where we are going to find the inverse of the square matrix. We are discussing inverse. So what is the inverse means here, and how we can find the inverse of square matrix? How many methods are available? Right now, let's see. So we are talking about the inverse, right? If a square matrix A of order n by n, then its inverse is given, right, is obtained through various techniques. One is elementary operation or transformation. Elementary operation. Second is the Cramer's rule, determinant method, Cramer's rule, because name after the mathematician. And then third is adjoint method. Okay, are also matrix method. Now, elementary row operation is purely based on matrices. Cramer's rule purely based on determinants. That is the next chapter. Determinants. Here the adjoint method is a combination of matrices and determinants both. Here there are three fundamental methods to find the inverse of the square matrix, but out of these three methods, this method is not there in the syllabus. Hence, we are only having two methods to find the inverse. One is being introduced in matrices chapter, and the second, this method, adjoint method, is introduced in determinant chapter, that is the next chapter. So in this chapter, we are having only one method to find the inverse, that is what? Elementary operation method. Now let's try to understand what is this elementary operation method and how it will work. So we are dealing with elementary operation method. Remember the name, elementary operation, right, technique we can say. So how can we apply this elementary operation, what it speaks? Let's try to understand. Right, as we know that if I say the multiplicative inverse of a number 2, so definitely you will say, sir, its multiplicative inverse is 1 by 2 because their product will always give 1. So hence 2 and 1 by 2 are called multiplicative inverse of each other. In a similar way, if I ask the question, right, what is the multiplicative inverse of root 2 by 3? So we'll definitely speak, sir, it just by multiplying 3 by root 2 you will get 1. Hence root 2 by 3 and 3 by root 2 are the called multiplicative inverse of each other. So my question is every real number possess a multiplicative inverse? No. Answer is no, because if I take 0 as a real number, it does not possess any multiplicative inverse. It means that 1 by 0 ऐसा करके हम लोग आंसर 1 नहीं ला सकते, which is meaningless. So hence 0 has no multiplicative inverse. So why I am giving this example here? Try to understand. If I say every real number except 0, in a similar manner, generally a square matrix possesses its inverse. It has its inverse, but it's not a universal truth. It means that in some cases, right, in some square matrix, we get the answers that it doesn't possess any inverse. Now let's see this concept through a matrix language. Okay, so if one matrix will be given to you, that is a square matrix, we are going to find its inverse such that A into A inverse will give identity matrix. Well, this is our concept behind this method. Okay, so now let's try to understand elementary operation. Right. What is this elementary operation? How we will move with? Now see. Again, to apply this method, we have two options: elementary row operation, elementary column operation. There are two possibilities to apply the operation. So either you will go with row operation or you will go with column operation, but here I am strict to only elementary row operation, because whenever they are asking the question, they never mention ki go with row or column. They simply asking that ki find the inverse of the given square matrix by using elementary operation method. Elementary operation doesn't mean that only row or only column. We have two options. It all depends on us, right? So I am taking row wise system here. Fine. Now let's say what is this elementary row operation speaks. Every square matrix can be written as I into A, correct, or A into I also. So for applying the elementary row operation, we start with this first step as given matrix can be written as I into A. I is what? The identity matrix of the same order, and will do the modification in A simultaneously in I without disturbing A. We are going to do some modifications in these two matrices such that by doing so we obtained I is equal to B into A. If I means my motive is to convert this left hand side matrix A to identity matrix I. When I am doing such disturbances or some modifications in A, the corresponding changes will be done in I. So I will not be there. So I will be disturbed. It become a general matrix. It become an identity matrix. It become a general matrix. Hence, this equation is transferred to I is equal to B into A. So hence, here we can declare B will be the inverse of A because the product gives the I. So this is a way to move from this equation to this equation. This is a journey. So first we'll start with this step. With the help of example, we can understand more clear. So we'll start with the step 1. Write the equation, matrix equation. A is equal to I into A. A is always a given matrix. Now I am taking a question. Question is 2, 3, 5, 7. A matrix A is given as 2, 3, 5, 7. Now just try to understand. So this is a matrix. Now we are going to find the inverse of this matrix, right? With the help of elementary operation method. How we can say? First we'll write the equation as step 1. Step 2, we'll put the matrix real entries here. What is A matrix given as? 2, 3, 5, 7 is equal to what is I? Identity matrix, as simple as 0, 1, 1, 0 into A. Thereafter, now what is our agenda? What is our plan, our methodology here? We wanted to make it as identity matrix. So how can we make it? Just I required 1 here, 0 here, 1 here, 0 here and 1 here. So to make this one, what I will suggest you that follow this technique ideally, because we have 4 elements to change, hence only it's a solution of 4 steps. Okay, maximum within of 4 steps you must get the answer, that is inverse. So I am just drawing a simple, what we required 0 in the first place, and then we required 1 here, we'll make it 1 here, it should be 1, then we required 0, and then we required here 1 and 0. So this is a way to move. Little bit confused, but it's okay. While practicing, we just do practice. By doing practicing and all, so you will definitely get the process. Now see, what is I mean to say? First, I'll start with this कि I want 1 here. मुझे 1 चाहिए होगा इस row 1 के अंदर. So what I can do, I will divide the entire row by 2. So I am going to change the row 1. That is why I am writing row 1 first. How I am changing? The row 1 is going to change. So that's why this statement. R1 is going to change like R1 is divided by 2. So simply divide the entire row by 2. So while doing the change in R1, row 2 elements will not be disturbed. So 2 by 2 is 1. 3 by 2 is 3 by 2 only. Then whatever the changes you have done in this matrix, as a corresponding change will be done in the identity matrix also. This is a process. So 1 by 2 it could be, 0 by 2 is 0 only. So next, row 2 elements remain same. So I am writing row 2 as it is. There is no change in the row 2. Have you understood the first step? What I did, I required 1. That's why I divide entire row with that constant only. मुझे 1 चाहिए होगा तो 1 लाने के लिए मुझे उसी constant से divide करना होगा. Once it is done, so my target first is done. So what is the next target to? I want here 0. See, I have made the arrows here. Please follow the arrows. After making 1, we are looking for 0. Now how can I make 0 here? Means you are looking here, not here, now here. Right, I want here 0. How can I make this 0? Simply by multiplying the first row with 5 and subtracting that value from R2. So I am writing the operation. I am going to change R2. Hence R2 is going to change. How R2 is going to change? R2 minus 5 times of R1. Right, R2 में से क्या subtract करें हम लोग? 5 times of R1. So what is the 5 times of R1 element? 5 ones are 5. and that is being subtracted from R2. So 5 में से 5 subtract होगा तो क्या होगा आंसर 0 होगा. So ultimately what you are going to get, so I am in this step I am going to change R2, hence R1 elements will be remain same. So R1 as it is, 3 by 2 as it is, 1 by 2, 0 as it is. Now if I do that process it will be 0, and then the same operation will be applied for each entry of the R2. R2 की हर एलिमेंट में ये ऑपरेशन अप्लाई होगा. मीन्स R2 की एलिमेंट में से क्या सब्ट्रैक्ट करेंगे 5 टाइम्स ऑफ R1 एलिमेंट. सो 7 में से क्या सब्ट्रैक्ट होगा 7 minus 5 times of 3 by 2. I am doing this proper here. 7 में से 5 times of क्या सब्ट्रैक्ट होगा 3 by 2 सब्ट्रैक्ट होगा. So 7 minus it हो गया 15 by 2. By taking LCM, minus 1 by 2 is remaining. So I am writing the simple calculation here, minus 1 by 2. So you just keep on doing the same modification in other two elements. यहाँ भी आपको change करना है, complete row to change होना चाहिए दोनों matrices के अंदर with the help of same operation. तो 0 minus 5 times of 1 by 2, that is only minus 5 by 2. It would be minus 5. 1 minus 5 times of 0, that is 1. So this is the result. Now you can see we obtained 1 and 0 here. And what is the next target? Once it is done, then we need to move 1. So यहाँ हमें requirement चाहिए 1. It means that we need to, now we want this as 1 in the next step. So how can I make it 1 here? Just by multiplying this quantity with minus 2. मैं इस quantity को minus 2 से multiply करूँगा, इसकी value क्या हो जाएगा 1. Hence whatever I am thinking about this element, it would be applicable in each and every element of the row. जो मैं इसके लिए सोच रहा हूं वो ऑपरेशन सारे एलिमेंट्स में अप्लाई होगा उस रो के. क्लियर? सो नाउ आई एम अप्लाइंग दैट ऑपरेशन हियर. राइट. So what I am doing here, I am writing the operation. I am going to change which row? R2. I am going to disturb the R2. So R1 will be remain same. So what I am doing here, R2 row is going to change, like R2 is multiplied by minus 2. So hence R2 की सारे elements minus 2 से multiply होंगे, R1 remains same होगा. So I am writing that step here. 1 3 by 2. I am not disturbing R1 in entire matrix equation. 1 by 2 0 into A. Now I am going to multiply by minus 2. So 0 into minus 2 will be 0. Minus 1 by 2 into minus 2 will be 1. Minus 5 by 2 into minus 2 will be positive 5. 1 into minus 2 is minus 2. So my task is done. Now what is the next target to? 1 0 0 1 is required. So just I am looking for the final step that I want 0 here. So wherever 0 is required, just we need to multiply this 1 with 3 by 2 and by subtracting here. Row wise only you need to think. Okay. So R2 को मैं किससे multiply करके subtract करूँ? 3 by 2 से multiply करके subtract करूँगा तो ultimately इसकी value क्या हो जाएगा? 0 हो जाएगा इस element पर. So I am going to what I looking for the change in R1. मुझे R1 में change करना है, इसलिए R1 को ही लिख रहा हूँ मैं. R1 is going to change. R1 minus 3 by R1 is going to change. How? R1 minus 3 by 2 times of R2. Remember, यानी R1 के एलिमेंट में से क्या सब्ट्रैक्ट होगा? 3 by 2 times of R2. So if I do that step, what I am going to get? So here R1 is going to change. Hence R2 elements in a second row elements will remain same. So first I will write those elements which are not at all disturbed. So now we are going to change R1 by applying this operation, row operation. Hence R1 के एलिमेंट में से 3 by 2 times of R2 माइनस होगा, तो 1 minus 0 होगा तो ये 1 ही होगा. 3/2 माइनस 3/2 जीरो करेंगे तो ये जीरो होगा. एंड देन आफ्टर हियर r1 मीन्स 1/2. I'm just doing the calculation. 1/2 minus 3/2 times of what is R2 element here, corresponding element 5. If I do that, 1/2 minus what you will get here, 15/2, that is minus 7. So here the answer is here minus 7. Then similarly, if I do the same operation here for this step, 0 minus 3/2 times of R2. तो हम यहाँ कर रहा हूँ मैं रफ कैलकुलेशन फ्रॉम द सेम स्टेप. R1 means 0 minus 3/2 times of R2 element, that is minus 2. So 2 get cancelled, minus into minus plus, so 3. So now you can see what the changes I have done, how I am moving here, how many operations I have applied. Just count the first one to make it 1, the second, third and fourth. I have told you that if you are dealing with 2/2 square matrix, there are only 4 elements. It means that in the maximum 4 row operation you will be able to get the answer. Now see what I can write this result as. This will become what? Identity matrix. It's a general matrix, I can say B into A. So if the product of two matrices is I, hence I can say here each matrix is inverse of each other here. So hence B matrix is called inverse of A. So what is here A inverse? A inverse is B. A inverse is B. Therefore what is the B matrix here? It is minus 7, 3, 5 and minus 2. You got the final answer as A inverse. So this is a given matrix A, 2, 3, 5, 7, and you got the inverse of this matrix as minus 7, 3, 5, minus 2. So this is a way to find the inverse of the square matrix with the help of which method? Elementary operation method. Elementary operation method. So how we will start this method? Always remember the sequence. If you are following the sequence, if you are following this method step by step, will definitely get. If you change in between anything and randomly, you may struck somewhere else. See, you must start with the statement like A is equal to I into A. This order is also very important. You have to write A is equal to I into A because you are dealing with elementary row operation. Okay, and then write the matrix A which is given in the question, I with identity matrix, and don't put any value of the A in the right hand side here. Okay, it will be carry on each and every step. And thereafter how to think, what is the methodology? First we'll make it as 1, then 0, then 1, then 0. What was the sequence? Remember, 0 first we required, and then we'll move to make it 1, and then we'll move to make it 0, then we'll move to make it 1, like this. इस तरीके से हम चलेंगे. तो पहले हम यहाँ 0 बनाएंगे, तो सॉरी पहले 1 बनाएंगे, 0 बनाएंगे, 1 बनाएंगे, 0 बनाएंगे. सो फर्स्ट हमें 1 बनाना है. तो 1 बनाने के लिए क्या करना होगा? जो क्वांटिटी मैट्रिक्स में दिया होगा उसी क्वांटिटी से डिवाइड करना होगा पूरी रो को. सो इसीलिए रो 1 जो आपने चेंज करे वो रो 1, उस पूरी रो 1 को हमने किससे डिवाइड किया? 2 से डिवाइड किया. इस तरीके से आप देखेंगे. फिर हम 0 बनाएंगे. तो 0 बनाने के लिए क्या करना होगा? इस 1 को किससे मल्टीप्लाई करके हम सब्ट्रैक्ट या ऐड करने पर 0 आएगा. रिमेंबर, इस 1 को किस क्वांटिटी से मल्टीप्लाई करके हमें ऐड या सब्ट्रैक्ट करने पर ये एलिमेंट 0 होगा. ये हमारा वे ऑफ थिंकिंग है. तो उसी तरीके से चलना होगा. तो रो 2 में मैंने वही चेंजेस किया कि इसको 0 बनाने के लिए क्या किया हमने? इस 1 को किस क्वांटिटी से मल्टीप्लाई करके मैं सब्ट्रैक्ट करूं या ऐड करूं. तो मैंने सोचा 1 को 5 से मल्टीप्लाई करूंगा तो आंसर क्या होगा? 5 होगा. अगर मैं इसमें से सब्ट्रैक्ट करूं तो क्या हो जाएगा? 0 हो जाएगा. तो मैंने वही किया कि R2 के एलिमेंट में से क्या किया मैंने? 5 टाइम्स ऑफ R1 एलिमेंट को सब्ट्रैक्ट किया. और वो चेंज किस में कर रहे हैं हम लोग? सिर्फ R2 में कर रहे हैं. इसलिए R1 के एलिमेंट्स को हम डिस्टर्ब नहीं किया. So in this manner I was able to get the A inverse. inverse. I am taking one more question where you will see the inverse may not exist. Now first I will write the question on the board and then we'll move with this methodology, right? Generally this method is little bit difficult to understand, but just by practicing only you will become expertise in this. You need lot of practice for this. Okay, now I am taking one question here. Question number here 14, 2142. 2142, right? Find the inverse of this matrix if it is exist. Question is find the inverse of matrix if it is exist. It means that its inverse may exist, may not exist. So first for that I am assuming let this matrix is A. Now I need to find A inverse question mark. Okay, if it is exist. I am not sure whether we are going to get A inverse or not. Fine. So which method we are using again? Elementary row operation, ERO method. Elementary row operation. In this method, how we'll start with? The first step is every square matrix can be written as I into A. We'll always start with the first step like this. And then we'll substitute the matrix A here, I here, will not disturb this A. So what is A here? 2, 1, 4, 2. And what is identity matrix here? 1, 0, 0, 1. And then A. Like this. So now what I am looking for? I wanted to make this matrix A as identity matrix, and for that first I required 1 over here. So to get 1 I have to divide the entire row with 2. Whatever the quantity is there, उसी quantity से हमें divide भी करना है. So what I am doing here, I am going to change R1 element. That's why I am writing R1 operation. Always you have to write like this only. R1 is going to change. Like how R1 is divided by 2. If I do that, so ultimately what you will get? If I do that, you will get 1 here. 2 is divided by 2, and every element of R1 is going to divide by 2. So now I can write it as 1 by 2. 1 by 2, 0 by 2 is 0 only. So if I do R1 operation, R2 will not change. That's why second row elements remains same. Now after that, what I required here, I wanted to make it 0 because after 1 I required 0 here. So what is the process? Okay, remember that process. मैं वापस यहाँ लिख रहा हूँ आपको. First I required 1, then I will move to make it 0. Then I will move to make it 1, and then I will go with this element 0. तो पहले 1 बनाऊंगा, इसको 0 बनाऊंगा, यहाँ 1 बनाऊंगा, यहाँ 0 बनाऊंगा. Okay, so 1 is done. Now I want 0 here. तो 0 बनाने के लिए हमेशा एक ही केस है. 1 को किस क्वांटिटी से मल्टीप्लाई करके इसमें ऐड करें या सब्ट्रैक्ट करें तो ये 0 बन जाएगा. तो सिंपल है. मैं 1 को 4 से मल्टीप्लाई करके इसमें से सब्ट्रैक्ट करूंगा तो 0 हो जाएगा. तो डेफिनेटली तो हमें क्या करना है, R2 के अंदर यहाँ 0 लाना है. उसके लिए हम क्या कर रहे हैं, R2 को चेंज कर रहे हैं. तो R2 इज गोइंग टू चेंज. हाउ इट इज गोइंग टू चेंज? R2 एलिमेंट में से क्या सब्ट्रैक्ट कर रहे हैं हम लोग? 4 टाइम्स ऑफ R1 एलिमेंट. R2 यानी 4 में से क्या सब्ट्रैक्ट करेंगे? 4 टाइम्स ऑफ R1. ओके, सो इफ आई अप्लाई दिस what we called as operation, row operation, what I am going to get? So which row we are going to change? This time R2 is going to change, hence R1 will remain same. Means at a time हर स्टेप में कोई एक रो entirely change होता है, बाकी rows undisturbed रहते हैं, याद रखना, right? So hence what we say here, R1 will remain same. I am writing R1 element as it is without any change. Now I am going to change the R2 elements by applying this operation. So it will become 0. Now R2 में से 4 times of R1. So 2 में से 4 times of 1 by 2. 2 minus 4 times of 1 by 2. What you will get here? 2 minus 2 as 0. So ultimately what you get here? 0. Similarly, the same operation will be applied in the second matrix also. पूरे रो में apply होगा. तो 0 minus 4 times of 1 by 2. 0 minus 4 times of 1 by 2. What you will get here? Minus 1 by 2. Sorry, minus 2. And then here 1 minus 4 times of 0. 1 minus 4 times of 0. It's 1 only. It's 1 only. Now further we can simply say here A inverse does not exist. A inverse does not exist. Surprise, right? Simple, eh? How I can say this? If you observe the elements, second row elements of the left hand side matrix is become 0 by doing this operation. Wherever you get this case, you can simply say its inverse does not exist. No need to do solve further. I repeat, I specifically purposely I took this question to understand the concept where you can say that its inverse does not exist in the process. See, in the left hand side portion, I am talking about the left hand side matrix. So left hand side square matrix, while applying the operations, if you are getting anywhere in the process like all the elements of any row, R1 में भी R2 R3 जो भी हो, अगर सारे एलिमेंट 0 होंगे, then you can declare from here that the A inverse does not exist, hence no need to solve further. Okay, so this is purposely framed to understand the A inverse is not always possible, though it is a square matrix. So we cannot say that every square matrix possesses its inverse. We cannot say that every square matrix possesses its inverse. Remember? So this is an example which supports the statement. Now I am taking the last question for this session as 3 by 3 square matrix to find the A inverse with the help of the row operation again. Okay? So we have understood how to apply the row operation. So we are going to use the same technique for 3 by 3. As you know, in a 3 by 3 square matrix, there are 9 elements, means 9 row operations will be applied to get its inverse. Okay, so I am taking the first matrix here. Find the inverse of the matrix, that is A power minus 1. This is a question mark where the matrix is given as, matrix हमें दिया है, right? I am taking a textual question so that we must be very clear. That matrix is given as 0, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 1, 1. This is a matrix. Now we need to find the inverse of this square matrix with the help of elementary row operation. So method will be same whether it is a 2 by 2, 3 by 3, 4 by 4, 5 by 4, 5 by 5, n by n. Method will be same. Only what is the difference is the length of the process. As number of elements are 9, we are going to get its inverse in 9 steps. It means 9 operations will be applied at max. उससे ज़्यादा नहीं हो सकता, but उससे कम हो सकता है, it depending on the elements which are given in the matrix. Now, the first and the most important step is what? Always we used to write the step 1 as every square matrix can written as I into A. In this manner we'll start this step and we'll replace this A and I with their corresponding matrices. Will not disturb this A. So what is the A matrix given first? You will see 0 1 2 1 2 3 3 1 1. And what is I here? Identity matrix of order 3 by 3. So hence it would be 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1 into what? A matrix. Now what is the first purpose? कि मेरा पर्पस है कि पहले यहाँ 1 होना चाहिए, जैसा आप ये देख रहे हो, पहले 1 रिक्वायरमेंट है, फिर 0 और 0 रिक्वायरमेंट है। इसी तरीके से यहाँ 1 रिक्वायरमेंट है, यहाँ 0 और 0 रिक्वायरमेंट है। तो मैं 0 को 0 से डिवाइड करके तो 1 नहीं ले सकता, मीनिंगलेस होता है। तो हेंस इन दिस केस we can shift the rows wherever it is required. Here I can do that shifting of rows with R1 and R2. I can shift R1 row with R2 row. So R1 is shifted with R2, means R2 ultimately shifted with R1. So R1 and R2 को मैंने क्या किया? सिर्फ शिफ्टिंग किया। शिफ्टिंग क्यों किया मैंने, वो क्लियर हो गया। रीजन कि यहाँ मैं 1 बनाने के लिए मैं 0 से डिवाइड नहीं कर सकता, तो डेफिनेटली मुझे क्या करना पड़ेगा? इन दोनों को शिफ्ट करना पड़ेगा। सो इफ आई शिफ्ट दैट वे, व्हाट आई एम गोइंग टू गेट? सो मैंने दोनों रो को शिफ्ट कर रहा हूँ, तो अल्टीमेटली ये हो गया 1 2 3. The corresponding changes will be done in the identity matrix also. It will become 0 1 0 1 0 0 0 0 1. Two rows are shifted, interchanged. 0 1 2 3 1 1. Okay, so this is what shifting of rows. Okay, after doing this, now what I am looking for? After 1 I required 0, then I required 0 here, but already 0 is there, so one step is reduced. Now I am looking for this, how can I make this 0? तो 0 बनाने के लिए एक ही कंसेप्ट है, जो उस कॉलम के अंदर 1 बना चुके ऑलरेडी हम लोग, उस 1 को किस क्वांटिटी से मल्टीप्लाई करके आप ऐड करें या सब्ट्रैक्ट करें, उसकी वैल्यू 0 आना चाहिए। इट मीन्स टू गेट 0 हियर, आई कैन डू दैट ऑपरेशन लाइक फ्रॉम दिस एलिमेंट 3 टाइम्स ऑफ 1 करके मैं सब्ट्रैक्ट करूंगा तो 100% 0 होगा। सो दैट इज द ऑपरेशन विच आई एम गोइंग टू अप्लाई हियर। What I am going to change? I am directly going to change R3. So how R3 is going to change? R3 minus 3 times of R1. Remember this, how I am writing. R3 is going to change such that R3 minus 3 times of R1. If I do this process, so ultimately what I am going to get? If I am going to change R3, means rest 2 rows are remain same. So first I will write those rows which are unchanged. So I am writing R1, R2 as it is, 1 2 3 0 1 0 8. R2 is not changing here, so that's why I am writing these elements as it is. These two rows are not distant. Now R3 is going to change. How it going to change? R3 minus 3 times of R1. So ultimately this becomes 0. That is the purpose to do this. And then R3 के एलिमेंट में से आप सब्ट्रैक्ट करिए, सेम ऑपरेशन पूरी R3 के एलिमेंट्स पे अप्लाई होगा। सो 1 minus 3 times of 2, see 1 minus 3 times of 2, it will give what? minus 5. Yeah, minus 1 minus 3 times of 3, 1 minus 3 times of 3, that is minus 9 minus 8. Okay, and thereafter here the same one. So here 0 minus 3 times of 0 is 0 only. 0 minus 3 times of 1 minus 3. 1 minus 3 times of 0 is 1. So now my purpose is solved. मेरा 1 0 0 create हो गया. Now what is the next step? I required 1 in the middle first and then I will go for 0. Always remember, first I will go with 1. एक बार मैं उस कॉलम में 1 बना देता हूँ, उसके बाद मैं जीरोस पे जाता हूँ। तो सेकंड कॉलम की बात करूँ यहाँ, तो 1 हमें मिडिल में चाहिए और यहाँ 0 चाहिए, यहाँ 0 चाहिए आइडेंटिटी मैट्रिक्स बनाने के लिए। तो 1 ऑलरेडी है, तो मुझे एक स्टेप और कम हो गया है तो अल्टीमेटली मेरा पर्पस अब होगा कि मुझे इसको 0 बनाना है और इसको भी 0 बनाना है। तो वन आफ्टर द अदर एक एक आराम से कर सकते हैं। सो मैं फर्स्ट यहाँ 0 बनाने की कोशिश करूँगा। तो इस 1 को किससे मल्टीप्लाई करके यहाँ ऐड या सब्ट्रैक्ट करूँ जिससे ये आंसर 0 हो जाएगा। सिंपल है, 1 को 2 से मल्टीप्लाई करूँगा तो 2 हो जाएगा और उसको मैं यहाँ से सब्ट्रैक्ट करूँगा तो 0 हो जाएगा। तो फर्स्ट आई एम गोइंग टू चेंज R1 in the next step. So that's why I am writing R1 is going to change. How I am doing? R1 में से क्या subtract करूँगा? 5 times of R2. 5 times of R2. So if I am applying that, R1 is going to change. So hence first I will write those elements which are unchanged. Which are unchanged. Right? Now if I do that, so ultimately it will be 1 and then it will be 0. Then if I apply R1 may say 5 times of R2, so 3 minus 5 times of 2, that is 10. So 3 minus 10 is minus 7, right? In a similar manner, 0 minus 5 times of 1 is minus 5. 1 minus 5 times of 0 is 1. 0 minus 0 here again 0. So now you can see हमें 0 चाहिए 1 मिल गया. Now my next target is to make this is 0. So how can I make this 0 here? Simply again multiply this quantity. 1 को हम 5 से multiply करें और इसको इसमें add कर दें तो minus 5 plus 5 क्या हो जाएगा? 0 हो जाएगा. So ultimately row 3 is going to change that R3 plus 5 times of R2. So if I do that operation, so R3 is going to change, so rest rows will be remain same. So 1 0 minus 7 0 1 2 minus 5 1 0 1 0 0, right, and into A. So ultimately it is 0, it will be 0. Then R3, that is minus 8 plus 5 times of 2, that is 10, minus 8 plus 10, that will be 2. Here the same effect will go in the second matrix also. So R3, that is 0 plus 5 times of 1 is 5, minus 3 plus 5 times of 0, it remains minus 3, 1 plus 5 times of 0 is 1. So I got 2 columns here. Now what is my target to get? How to get 1 over here? So to get 1 in the R3, first I will make 1, then I will make 0. So that is my process here. So to get 1, simply divide the entire row with that quantity. So here we have 2, to make it 1, we are going to divide entire row with 2 only. See what I am going to change here, right? So if I do that way, so the entire R3 is going to divide by 2. If I do that, what I can get here, simply rest will be same, 1 0 minus 7 0 1 2. I am writing from here 0 0 1. The same will go in the other matrix, minus 1 5 0 into A, 1 0 0. And now divide by 2 means it becomes 5 by 2 minus 3 by 2, again 1 by 2. So this is the operation. Now the next 2 steps, that is the last steps, see how it will work, right? What I am going to do here, again I got 1 here, I required 0 here. So how can I get 0 here? Simply इसको मैं 2 से मल्टीप्लाई करके इसमें से सब्ट्रैक्ट कर रहा हूँ. So R2 में 0 रिक्वायरमेंट है, तो R2 is going to change how? R2 minus 2 times of R3. So if I do this way, what I am going to get? R2 is going to change. So R1 remains same. R1 remains same, minus 1 0. It's as it is. Now R2 will going to change. By applying this, it will be 0, it will be 1, it will be 0 if I apply this operation. Now R2, that is what, 1, yeah, 1 minus 2 times of 5 by 2. If you do that, 1 minus 2 times of 5 by 2 to get cancelled, 1 minus 5 is minus 4. 0 minus 2 times of 3 by 2 is plus 3. 0 minus 2 times of 1 by 2 is minus 1, and R3 will remain same. 5 by 2 minus 3 by 2 and 1 by 2, and the last step. Now see, you got all the elements. अब मुझे यहाँ 0 बनाना है. To make it 0, what I will do first again, इस 1 को किससे मल्टीप्लाई करके ऐड सब्ट्रैक्ट कर दूँ, 0 हो जाएगा. 7 से मल्टीप्लाई करके ऐड करने पर -7 + 7 0 हो जाएंगे. Hence I am going to change in R1. मुझे R1 में changes requirement है. How I will do that? R1 में क्या ऐड करूँगा, 7 times of R3 ऐड करूँगा. So what I am the operation I am going to do is R1 में changes कर रहा हूँ. So it will be 1 0 0 and R1 में change कर रहा हूँ. So -5 plus 7 times of R3. I required one drop calculation here. What I am going to do here, कि R1 plus 7 times of R3. So what is the R1 element in this? -5 plus 7 times of R3 element, that is 5 by 2. So -5 plus 35 by 2, that is -10, that is 25 by 2. So here I got it as 25 by 2. Similarly here if I apply the same one, R1 plus -3 by 2. So R1 element is 1 plus 7 times of R3 element is -3 by 2. So 1 minus 21 by 2. 2 is the LCM. It would be -19. So it is -19 by 2. Similarly R1 is 0 plus 7 times of 1 by 2 is 7 by 2. Nothing else. Now rest rows are same. So 0 1 0 0 0 1 here, -4 3 -1 5 by 2 -3 by 2 and 1 by 2. Into what left? क्या रह गया था इसमें? A और A. So what we got as a final answer? See. Right? What we got as a final answer? It reduced to what? Identity element, identity matrix. It become a general matrix with A. So we are ended with I is equal to D into A. Hence here this matrix is called inverse of given matrix, because this becomes identity element, sorry, identity matrix. Hence I is equal to B into A. Hence B is called inverse of A. Therefore A inverse is written as the matrix 25 by 2 minus 19 by 2, 7 by 2 and -4 3 -1 5